Much more this week here on Wildside.
Well, Pomp and Circumstance have scored victories over some monumental tag teams here in NWA Wildside. They defeated Rain Man and Azrael when they were tag team champions, and defeated Tank and Iceberg to become Wildside tag team champions. So, in the mind of Al Getz, the Lost Boys tonight is another obstacle and another legend that Pomp and Circumstance is going to put to an end.
That's true, by the way. When you're going up against a team like Tank and Iceberg, I mean, you know you're in for perhaps the longest night of your life. Against the Lost Boys, you know all bets are off. The most unpredictable tag team in perhaps pro wrestling history.
Gabriel is just totally psyching Rockwell out here. Collar and elbow. Waistlock takedown. Gabriel front chancery and a float over there. Floats all the way around and hangs on. Beautiful, crisp execution.
All the more remarkable since Gabriel's been on the receiving end of an awful lot of punishment in the last few weeks here at NWA Wildside. The resiliency of Gabriel is something that you don't often see quite often, but the Archangel is obviously full of tricks.
Full Nelson applied by Gabriel. So a full Nelson takedown, and has him completely stationary on the mat.
Collegiate wrestling from the Archangel. God, it's come to this.
You never know what type of tricks he'll pull out of his bag, and he is a very skilled technical wrestler. Doesn't always like to apply it, but that's his prerogative.
Look at the Archangel Gabriel, kind of like a slithering around this seven-figure deal. And I'm sure it's really got to be getting Ace Rockwell's goat to be outsmarted by Gabriel, a man who's never uttered a single syllable here at NWA Wildside, and who Al Getz, I know, calls both members of the Lost Boys a complete stupid claws. He's actually said that to me on a couple of occasions. If that's what Al Getz thinks of the Lost Boys, I guess it's probably not too big a surprise to find that out. But there's no discounting what the Lost Boys bring to the table, and that's a lot of grief if you're facing them, you know?
And what they've accomplished as far as the Wildside Tag Team Championships and the mark that they've left in the tag division long after NWA Wildside is gone, the legend of the Lost Boys will continue.
Without a doubt, as Wildside is coming to the end of its biological clock. But we're not exactly going out with a whimper, as upcoming, nothing less than Last Rites, what is rapidly becoming one of the most remarkable cards in the history of NWA Wildside, as the Archangel Gabriel and Ace Rockwell tying it up in your opening tag team encounter this week's edition of Wildside.
A lot of straight-up wrestling here. You got to begin to wonder when Pomp and Circumstance are going to try to take that sneaky psychological advantage. You're not talking about freaking them out like the Lost Boys do. Pomp and Circumstance like to try to outsmart you and make you make a mistake against yourself so they can cheat and they can capitalize on it. But right now, the Lost Boys have completely controlled everything that they've brought.
And Ace Rockwell just merely backing up out of that position, man. Look, a big hip toss from Gabriel, and Gabriel going straight for the left arm of Sugar Shawn Tempers.
Tempers the more powerful Pomp and Circumstance, and there you see it, able to shrug Gabriel off where Rockwell was not able to.
A quick tag to Ace Rockwell. That's probably rather quick. As now a request from Pomp and Circumstance to be facing the Lost Boys as a tandem? No. Make that a bit of a handicap encounter that the Gabriel seemingly is going to bite.
Gabriel ducks a clothesline attempt by both members of Pomp and Circumstance.
Interesting little strategy in the part of Pomp and Circumstance, but oh, good heavens, an Azrael! A pair of swift kicks, sending Pomp and Circumstance out of the picture.
Tempers charges with a clothesline. Azrael out of the way, lighting him up with chops. Oh, and a climbing wheel kick by the Angel of Death. Rockwell charges. He ducks a clothesline. Single man time warp. by the Angel of Death. And Gabriel in the ring to make the cover, 2 count.
That was a kick out, not a very convincing one, but regardless. Pomp and Circumstance are still alive. What's left of them? Big chop from the Archangel Gabriel on the chest of Ace Rockwell.
Rockwell grabs the ropes, goes for a boot. Gabriel underneath, but tempers. Showing the cohesive tag team unit that is Pomp and Circumstance right there. And providing his partner with the assist.
It took a quick double teaming on the part of Pomp and Circumstance to put the brakes on the Archangel Gabriel.
And tempers now pummeling the Archangel on the ground. Pomp and Circumstance used some double team efforts to turn the tide of this match. And Rockwell ordering tempers to hit the neck breaker. Now, if you know a weak spot on Gabriel, we know the history he's had with neck problems here in NWA Wildside, and the Lost Boys could be in severe trouble if Pomp and Circumstance are going to home in on this.
Well, that homing in and precisely what they're doing on that neck of Gabriel. A little more remarkable that he kicked out after one with that previous pin attempt. Obviously, Gabriel gutting it out for some serious pain. Oh, speaking of serious pain, Azrael's happy to deliver a little bit of that to Ace Rockwell. Back to the Phantom tag again. Quite a ruthless and competitive tag team scene here as Gabriel putting the stops on Sugar Shawn Tempers. Oh, back first onto the chest of Shawn Tempers.
Big sit-down backsplash by Gabriel.
Desperation move on the part of Gabriel.
Rockwell humpered over in pain on the corner, nursing his ruptured spleen after that kick. Azrael drops him, drops Tempers.
Looks like Azrael's dishing out some rupturing of his own.
The Angel of Death. Well, he's got Rockwell hooked, going for the Ted Bundy. But Tempers speared him out of his shoes. And they false tagged in Gabriel with the injured neck.
No tag was made to Gabriel. But Mike Posey is taking a Pomp and Circumstance's word for it? Come on, Mike. You're on sort of quasi-probation here, Mike, for crying out loud.
Azrael's got Rockwell hooked here. In the torture rack position, plants him on Tempers. And what is this? Gabriel on the top. Double stomp to the back. And Pomp and Circumstance squash one another.
Boy, Lost Boys playing Pomp and Circumstance for fools. Not quite the double team effort that Pomp and Circumstance had envisioned here.
The Archangel's gonna fly Gabriel over the top.
And Gabriel sending Azrael backstage for something that could only be bad news for Pomp and Circumstance. And I don't think the fans here at the NWA Arena mind that one bit. Okay, it's a table. No stranger to the MO of the Lost Boys. And now here comes Mikel Adyran NWA as the referee calls to the bell. This match has completely gone out of control and thrown out.
Tempers running so high.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this contest via disqualification, the Lost Boys.
Well, as you see, the Tempers running high, so close to the final countdown to last rites.
And Luke and Adyran interfering freely in this matchup. One of the Lost Boys sending the NWA Elite sprawling out of here.